Hey guys, it's Tarot and Beyond. In today's reading, I wanted to look at purpose because I've been seeing a lot of synchronicities this week around purpose. I've had 2 client sessions where people were asking about their purpose, their soul purpose, what they were here to do, things like that. So Spirit is pushing this message through, so we are going to get some information about your soul purpose, what that could look like, how you can walk that path, how you can get into alignment with that, and much more, hopefully. So we have the 3 groups that we're going to use today from the Amenti Oracle, so we're actually going to pull them live on camera. That's just what I felt like doing, so I actually filled this card. That will be for group 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So for group number 1, and I'll give you a top-down view of these as well at the end. So it says, I remain in balance with my emotions. This is going to be for group number 1, right? And then for group number 2, we have, I speak positively of others. So that's group 2. And then for group number 3, I am accepting. All right. That is group number 3. So I'll give you guys a top-down view as well. Select the card or cards that you feel most drawn to. Use the timestamps below or the chapters to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings, and we'll see you there. All right. Hi, group number 1. Welcome to your reading. You chose I remain in balance with my emotions. So I feel like a lot of your purpose here is to do with creating balance or harmony between light and dark. So this is you connecting to the unity principle within yourself, group number 1, and I'm seeing a balance of feminine and masculine. There may be an excess of one or the other. So irrelevant of your gender, this is your polarity, your dominant polarity. And I'm seeing that there may be an excess of, let's say, for example, if you are a feminine polarity soul, you may have an excess of masculine, and that needs to be balanced out so you can step back into your natural frequency, which is feminine, and vice versa as well. For the masculine, maybe you have an excess of feminine that needs to be balanced out to get back into your natural frequency. So I'm seeing that there's like this duality that you're learning in this lifetime to embody in a healthy way. You're seeing things more clearly, and you're able to move past duality into that unified consciousness and unified internal masculine feminine within. So it's balancing those two out internally. And that harmonizes your energy field. So let's get some more information for you, group number 1, on what your life purpose or what your soul purpose is. Because I think life purpose and soul purpose there's crossover, but they're not necessarily the exact same thing. But maybe we're going to talk about both today. Okay, we have blue moon energy, believe in the impossible. Group number 1, and I saw 137 on the recording time. That's like a special number for me that I see a lot of the time when I'm in alignment or there's things that are happening that are like miraculous or very lucky. So 137 could be one of those codes. And I love that it came out for the blue moon energy, which is saying believe in the impossible. I feel like you are going to be doing the impossible. Your soul purpose is to manifest things that seem at the 3D earthly level like they are not doable, or not creatable, or they just don't exist, or it's very, very rare. But you're doing it, group number 1. And this is part of your soul purpose. This is why you came here. It's to break the binds or break the bonds. Okay, there could also be some karmic clearing as well. You may deal a lot with karmic relationships, negative soulmate contracts, things like that need to be cleared out. You're doing a lot of relationship work in this lifetime, group number 1. That's connected to your soul purpose. So if you've had a lot of bad partners or you've dealt with a lot of unhealthy or toxic relationships, whether it was family, friends, romantic relationships, etc., that's all part of your soul purpose. Now, the other thing that I was going to say here is that you're meant to be manifesting beyond the confines of what human consciousness perceives as possible. You are here to create a new blueprint. I actually do feel those 3 cards, all of them. So you're here to create a new blueprint, group number 1, and that's why you have to believe in yourself and balance these energies out within you. The feminine magnetic polarity and the masculine electric polarity. And when those merge together within you, you can manifest and create just about anything. No, anything. Spirit's correcting me. They're like, not just about anything, anything. So this is you being able to transcend the quote unquote possible and make miracles happen in your life. Be bold and make the first move. I think that's so funny, especially since in context to relationships, maybe you're more of a passive person and you're not used to making the first move. And part of your soul purpose is to learn to be confident and maybe even a little more dominant in your energy, or using your polarity to your benefit in a like a very direct and focused manner. Cardinal signs could be significant. What are the cardinal signs in astrology? I don't know that off the top of my head. If anybody knows, can you put that in the comment section below for group number 1? Because there's something about the cardinal signs and how the cardinal signs they're the leaders of the zodiac. That's what Spirit's telling me. Okay, so then the cardinal signs would be, I think, Aries. It's basically like the transition into a new season, or like the dominant energy into a new season. That's kind of what they're giving me, but I don't really know what they are. So anyway, it's about leadership. It's about being bold. It's about you doing something that other people haven't done. So part of your soul purpose is being a pioneer, being a leader, group number 1. And you're literally group 1, number 1. You are meant to be number 1. You are meant to go first. You are meant to clear a path, is what Spirit's showing me. You're meant to make the impossible achievable. Now, this is actually, before we look at these other 2 cards and get more, there's something that's coming to mind here that I think is important for you, and it's connected to your soul purpose. When nobody has done something before, it's like there isn't an example template about how to achieve that thing. So humans can kind of get stuck in this consciousness trap. It's giving me kind of like 8 of Swords energy. Like we get in our heads about something and we don't believe that it's possible, so nobody can do it. And you can actually see this with what's coming to mind as an example of marathon racers, or no, it was like sprinting racers. Yeah. And there was a certain time period where nobody could beat or exceed this one fastest time. And some people came close, but nobody could break it for like years. And then all of a sudden, I think it might have been Usain Bolt or something like that. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody broke that sort of barrier. It's like they got past that glass ceiling that had been created unconsciously within the collective mind. And because that one person did it, whoever they happened to be, then a whole bunch of other people started doing it. So it's like it unlocks in the collective consciousness. It becomes a template or a blueprint which other people can access. And this is your soul purpose, group number 1. You are here to create a new template. You are here to break the bonds of what is possible, first of all, for yourself and possibly for your divine partner, if you have relationships as part of this purpose, which I feel like you do. And so that the rest of the collective can access this blueprint, so they can unlock that within themselves because you have unlocked it by embodying it. This is a big purpose. I did mention Aries energy. We have the new moon in Aries. It's time to take action. Look at that. Action. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It is the leader. It is the emperor. It is the person who goes first. It's literally the horoscope sign that goes first in the zodiac. So this is you being bold, taking action, making the first move, doing something, innovating, inventing. It's like, again, you are the embodiment of a template that has never been done before. It's never been done before, at least not in this specific way or to this scale. That's what they're showing me, is something about scale. It's going to be very large scale. What is that? A personal issue reaches resolution. Full moon in Cancer energy. Cancer is to do with the home and family, relationships, healing, the heart, nurturing. So this could be part of it as well. It could be like impossible healing, large scale healing, miraculous connections is kind of what it feels. Something about connections. Since we're talking about the divine feminine in this reading, I feel like we need to grab the goddess deck, because there's a big part of your purpose, group number 1, as it relates to the divine polarities, the divine feminine and masculine. I actually feel that. No, not that one. Okay. All right. So we've got Mirabai, the saint of true freedom. Love is what sets me free. I am married to my own soul. I am married to my own soul. I feel like you're doing something large scale in regard to unification with the self. This is what I'm saying. It's the inner union. And on the outside, this might manifest as a divine counterpart or somebody who is the mirroring energy to reflect that inner harmony or inner balance that you've managed to achieve as part of this soul purpose. And the energy that comes from that is groundbreaking, is what Spirit is showing me. It's like a landmass that just... They're showing me clairvoyantly Pangea. Pangea was when the entire earth, all of the land was one. Right, we're talking about unity. And then it split off into, at least that's the theory, well, I believe it, and it split off into these different continents that we have. These different land masses. Asia, Eurasia, North America, South America, etc. So I feel very strongly, group number 1, that your soul purpose is connected to reunification. And this is you coming into the marriage within your soul. This is the inner union. This is the hierogamic union within the self. Now, what this does is it expands out the light body. And when your light body is stronger, you are much better capable of moving between timelines, of manifesting and creating from this infinite potential. You're automatically accessing the void space and you're able to channel that through like fluid because you've got the masculine and the feminine in perfect harmony within yourself. The feminine receives and heals and feels and nurtures and connects the dots between everything. It's intuitive, psychically expansive. And then the masculine takes action and protects, it governs, it logically and linearly implements plans of action to get shit done. So again, it's like this perfect balance within yourself. It is the core of your soul purpose. We have Green Tara, the Buddha of enlightened action. It's time to take action, enlightened action, group number 1. You can't make this shit up. My soul informs my every step. I do what my heart compels me to do. So you are here to be a heart leader. You are here to pave a way. You are here to take action. I'm seeing 11 and 11:01 on the recording time. So 11:11 or 1:11. Again, it's like this activation, action steps, being the first to do something in a way that has not been done like this. Now, Green Tara reminds me of like earth and different higher vibrational earth frequencies. So again, you may be creating a template, a blueprint for the collective of humanity to access that is a higher vibrational timeline connected to a higher dimensional plane of earth, of the planet, because they were showing us Pangea and these different continents. It's like you're reunifying and giving access or a template, or you're like walking the earth as a divine being, group number 1. This is really strong. I can feel it. They're actually showing me somebody glowing from top to bottom. So like fully active light body, complete inner union, walking the earth. You're a divine being in a physical human experience, and you're creating this like timeline on earth that is ascended, for lack of a better word. Yeah, it's an ascended timeline. It's an ascended embodiment for you. This incarnation's really big, group number 1. This is a powerful purpose that you have here. This is not like your run-of-the-mill incarnation where you're learning different dualistic lessons. It's kind of like you've already been there and done that. You've had the duality, you've played out the karma, you've been here, you've been there, you've been poor, you've been rich, you've been weak, you've been strong. You know, you've played out the duality, and now this is the lifetime where it all comes together. This is the lifetime where the unification happens and you're in your full embodiment. This is like avatar level consciousness. Buddhic body, they're saying Buddhic body. Yeah, we had the Buddha of enlightened action. The Buddhic body is a layer of the light body. Powerful, powerful, powerful. Okay, let me see what's coming up here from this deck. Entrepreneur. I am not surprised to see this card here since you had be bold, make the first move, believe in the impossible. It's time to take action. Self-employment suits your disposition, group number 1, and intentions. Working for yourself allows you to better follow your intuition and divine guidance. We are your co-workers and teammates who remain loyally by your side to ensure your success in all ways. And we can see here the angel lighting the torch and lighting the flame. There we go. So you are probably somebody who is drawn to entrepreneurship, group number one, because this allows you to be more autonomous. It allows you to self-govern, which is very much what I'm seeing here energetically. You can make the moves for yourself. You get to dictate how you move, what you do, why you're doing it, and it's very intentional and very purposeful. So you are meant to be a leader of industry is what I'm hearing. Leader of industry, group number one. You're going to forge a path. I keep getting that so strongly. You're going to be forging a path. You're going to help other people to heal is what they just showed me. They showed me the Cancer energy with the crab. You're helping other people to heal, to reunify. You may be teaching this. You may become like a living master is what they're saying. I'm hearing living master and Buddhic example or Buddhic embodiment. It's Krishna, it's Christ, it's Buddha. It's the, like I said, avatar level consciousness embodiment. You're walking the earth as an ascended master because, or not quite ascended. Well, yeah, ascended master. We could say that because you're ascended on to a higher timeline on the planet because you're creating that, right? Like you embody and then the reality reflects that. It's not like you jump to some other timeline. It's a direct creation or correlation to your frequency. So you're meant to have true freedom. Love is what sets your soul free. So being an embodiment of love. And this is actually a phrase that I don't know if I coined it. Maybe someday I'll copyright it or trademark it or something. But like in the coaching fields and in the online community, a lot of people will use the term thought leader. I feel it's important we have more love leaders. And I feel like you are one of those love leaders, group number one. You are here to embody love. You are here to be that unified whole self, which when you unify the self, you cannot help but be in love. And not just being in love romantically. This is like a whole nother level of transcendent love. It's a pure state of being is what spirit is, a pure state of being. Love is the highest frequency. It is the frequency of all creation. This goes way beyond the masculine and feminine. This goes way beyond romance. This goes way beyond just platonic or familial love or anything like that. We don't even have a word for this in the human language. That's how big it is. And you are here to be a leader in that. You are here to be an example of that. To set an example is what Spirit said. To set an example in that. So be a love leader. Create some businesses out of this. Teach people, share with people, walk with them on their path. Two footprints in the sand they're showing me. You have a lot of ascended masters that work with you, group number one. If you were drawn to this group, this is a big soul purpose. And so you have a lot of support. You have angels, you have guides, you have ancestors, you have physical people, soulmates and things like that who are of a like vibration, who incarnated with you. It's like, this is all part of the game plan is what they're showing me. And now they're showing me a coach on halftime of a football game, and he's got like that whiteboard and he's got the X's and O's and all the lines and arrows. So it's like you're like the coach. You're like you're the strategist. I keep getting Emperor vibes, Aries again. We have Aries here, cardinal signs. I feel like you are meant to create a game plan and then help people to execute it. And you inspire people too, because what's coming to mind is I love sports movies for this because, you know, that sort of trope of the discouraged team that gets a pep talk and it's so inspirational and transformational that they come back from like an underdog situation or position and they end up winning. That's what I feel like your life is, group number one. Your soul purpose is to embody this underdog story, to come from the bottom and rise to the top and embody that in an aligned way. You're doing it with integrity. You're doing it with purpose. You're doing it with intention. And you're doing it in a whole and integrated way where it's healthy. It's not coming from lack or ego or separation or attachment. It's coming from detachment. It's coming from purity. It's coming from, I'm hearing no fear of loss. No fear of loss. Like there's no attachment to the outcome. It's the process that you're meant to embody. So you're going to inspire other people. You have the ocean. The deep blue sea speaks to your soul, healing and soothing you. Even the act of imagining yourself dipping into its healing womb brings about desirable effects. Better yet, spend time physically near the ocean. Allow its power and beauty to wash away all cares and concerns. Well, you do have Cancer energy. Maybe you have some ocean affiliations in your in your energy, in your natal chart. Water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, very much drawn to the ocean. But this also reminds me of like being psychic, because the ocean to me represents the subconscious mind, and it's our deep access point to the whole self. This is where the avatar consciousness can become integrated, but we have to clear the veil between the unconscious and the conscious mind. And this is why the impossible becomes possible for you, group number 1, is because you are accessing more of your pure potential. Like most humans operate at about 5%. We're operating at 5% using only the conscious mind, but the subconscious mind is 95% of our power, of our ability to create and shape our reality and to understand and to walk a path that is fully aligned. But because the veil was put in place to keep us from ourselves, and the ego developed as a construct of that veil to limit us and to teach us in many different ways about duality, you are breaking the bonds or the barriers. Again, I'm getting those bonds and barriers. You're breaking those karmic ties. You are shattering, is actually what they're showing me. They're like shattering the glass ceiling. You are breaking the line or the barrier between the conscious and the unconscious mind. Permeability is what they're saying. It's more permeable, meaning that there's more access back and forth. You're bridging the gap. And the ocean may represent that. Maybe you're drawn to the ocean. Maybe you want to live by the ocean. Maybe that's part of your soul purpose. That actually came up earlier today. I wrote that in my synchronicities journal. It's out in the kitchen, but I wrote that down, something about living by the ocean. And because they were playing this song in my head, something, something, something down by the sea. It was like, it was Puff the Magic Dragon. I was trying to figure out this morning, so I'm sitting there having my coffee, trying to like figure out what is this song that they keep playing in my head. Puff the Magic Dragon lives by the sea. You're Puff the Magic Dragon, group number 1. Again, fire energy, dragon energy, that's 12th dimension and above. 12 to 24D could be significant. 12th dimensional strands of DNA activating. Dragon lines could be important as well. Dragon lines on the earth, different grid lines, ley lines. You may be a ley line worker as part of your soul purpose. Oh my God, it's all coming in. Okay. Just all sorted flooding. And it's like these waves of the ocean. Maybe you experience some ebb and flow in your embodiment, group number 1, but I saw 2121. Yeah, that's the mirrored 1212 energy. So again, we have duality, counterparts mirroring. 1212 is about the 12-strand DNA. That's the full activation of the light body embodied in the physical. So it's actually physically expressed through the atoms, through Adam Cadmon, I heard. Okay. Adam and Eve archetypes. It's like it's all coming together, literally. But yeah, it's Puff the Magic Dragon was also about imagination. It was like a little boy who could see something that nobody else could see. So you can see something that no one else can see, group number 1. And I think that's because you're psychic. You're highly sensitive. You're probably very psychically aware. So the ocean and ocean energy is important for you. I'm hearing healing the earth. Yeah, you are probably a healer, and you help to heal the earth. You heal the collective of the human mind, but also like the physical land. Okay. I feel this deck as well. It's the Crystal Mandala deck, I think. Yeah. Oh, power. Archangel Metatron, it's the number 1. First of all, again, number 1. We're number 1. We can't be number 2. Yeah, I feel like you're going to be a cheerleader or a coach or like something. You inspire people. You take action. You do something and it inspires people. So anyway, power, Archangel Metatron, and clear quartz. Crystal angel number 444. Okay, there we go. Crystal angel number 444. Power. This is you being in your power. This is the lifetime of power. The inner queen, goddess Persephone, and Ruby Persephone rules the underworld. That's the subconscious realm. You're going to be the queen of the subconscious realm. It's divine masculine or divine feminine, depending on what you resonate with. But there's going to be a balancing of the inner queen. Ruby, the ruby ray could be significant as well. Root chakra. Again, crystallization Did I say that before? I don't know why I said again, but anyways, I'm getting crystallization of the chakras, which is also a part of building out the light body. Yeah. Inner queen. I don't know if I showed that. Hold on. Inner queen. And searing presence. I believe it. Another ruby. Yeah, it says ruby aura quartz here. Goddess Maya, crystal goddess number 888. This one was also 888. Yeah, it was. Crystal goddess number 888 and ruby. Eights are about as above, so below. It's also about power. So you've got power, and then the 8 is also talking about power, but it's separate cards. Ruby, definitely the ruby ray. Ancient aura, I heard. Ancient aura. You have an ancient aura. Like I said, you've been through hell and back is actually what I heard. Oh, goddess Persephone. Yeah, it's in hell. You've been through hell and back. Group number 1. And you came out a queen or a king or an emperor or an empress or god or a goddess. And I'm hearing there's no going back from that. Once you've achieved that state of consciousness, the rest of the lifetime is dedicated to inspiring others, walking that, embodying that. And this could be part of your soul purpose is getting to this state of full integration. They're showing me somebody pulling up the pants, and then they said pulling up the pants of humanity. What does that mean? Oh, you're pulling people up, like where things have fallen down. The root chakra is pants, right? Like the legs. Okay. They're showing me suspenders. Suspenders. You are the suspender that helps to pick people back up. When people fall down and they are in that lower vibrational state of being and they're separated from themselves and they're lost and they're afraid and they're in the dark night of the soul and they're lost in the hell frequency, which is really just like purgatory of the mind, you come in and you inspire them. You show them the light. They're showing me a lighthouse. They're showing me a guiding star. Yeah, it's like you inspire people, but it's like you have to walk that path first so that you can show people the way. So any struggles you've had in this lifetime, group number 1, they were all for this purpose of developing and honing this power and being able to teach other people how to do that as well. Yep, that's it. That's all they wanted to say today, group number 1. I was going to go for more cards and they're like, nope, that's it. That was the message. So there you have it. I really am blown away, like blown back in my seat by your power, group number 1. You are on a mission here in this lifetime, and I would not be surprised if this was your last lifetime, because this is like moksha level stuff that we're talking about here. This is you fully aligned with your dharmic path. This is big stuff. So I want to congratulate you on having such a beautiful, profound, and large-scale purpose. So don't be afraid. Don't let the ego pull you back. Don't let the ego drive you either. Your soul leads the way. Let love be your guide, and let that guide others. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here on the channel. I hope this reading was helpful in some way, shape, or form. And thank you for helping me to continue doing this work. Supporting the channel is easy. All you have to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with a friend who you think might need to hear some of these messages or might benefit from the activations within these readings. I see you guys sending in super thanks and donations and things like that, of cards or of money, and I really deeply appreciate that as well. And everything that I receive is amplified with gratitude to reflect back as well. So as you give, so shall you receive. I love you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 2. Welcome to your reading. You chose I Speak Positively of Others. So I'm already getting right away really strongly just from this card that part of your soul purpose is to do with communication. So not just how you speak of others or about others, but how you communicate in general. You know, I feel like part of your purpose is to project your truth out into the world in a healthy way. You're meant to speak things into existence as well. Spirit's telling me that a lot of your power, group number 2, comes from your voice. So this could be through speaking. I'm hearing speaking engagements. Okay. So maybe public speaking in some way, or speaking on a particular topic, being This feels to me like the soul gift of divine communication. In the soul realignment modality, which is a type of Akashic reading that I'm a practitioner of, the divine communication gift is very much about authenticity and your expression. And a lot of it channels through the throat chakra. So singing, writing, speaking, teaching, learning is also a big part of this, being a lifelong learner and being able to integrate that knowledge and wisdom and turn around and speak it into existence, share it with others, teach others, speak your truth, share your truth. Verbal lyricist, I'm hearing, yeah, so being able to turn a phrase, silver tongue, being gifted with the gab, as the Irish would say, and having the ability to speak things into existence. They're saying that again. So this can be about like verbally casting spells. That's why they call it spelling, as they say. So this is you being able to speak things and create them. And it doesn't have to be in the form of a quote unquote spell. It's more just like when you say something, it has power because it's expressing straight from your divine gift. So you kind of have to be careful with what you say, group number 2. Don't speak negatively about other people. Don't speak negatively about yourself. Don't speak negatively about your reality. This can be hard to do. So it's kind of being very consciously aware and in control of the words that you're using. Use your words wisely is what Spirit just said very clearly in my head. Use your words wisely, group number 2, because everything you say comes true on some level. And you may have experienced this. You may experience this a lot, actually, is what Spirit's giving me. It's like you say something and then it inadvertently comes true. And if you haven't connected the dots of that yet, I feel like you have, but if you haven't, Spirit is calling you to this message today to let you know. Start looking for those correlations. When you say something, it shows up. Maybe it shows up later on, but it shows up nonetheless. So be conscious and intentional with your words because they have power. This is your source of power, is what Spirit's saying. Now, this also applies to intentional manifesting. Scripting would be one of those tools for you. It's part of your soul purpose. So writing it down, writing everything down, writing what you want down, writing affirmations down, writing things you want to release down and then letting them go. Writing down your goals, your desires, your destiny. It's like write a template of your life because, again, what you put into existence with your words, whether it's spoken verbally or written, is going to be very powerful and transformational. You may have had a lot of past lives as a scribe, as a writer, as a singer, as any form of communication, because this is what you're skilled at. This is what your soul is divinely channeling. Like this is the gift at soul level. And so it is directly connected to your purpose. They're giving me the word correlate. It correlates. Yeah. Speaking of purpose, you have the North Node. Step out of your comfort zone. So let's say, for example, you are scared of public speaking. Maybe there's even some wounds around that. Maybe in those past lives, you chose to play small and be the scribe or, the translator for other people, but not necessarily speaking or teaching on your own truth or in a public way. There can be a wound because I know, working in the past lives in the Akashic field, I've seen a lot of shit, you guys, and I can see these patterns of how souls go through these different karmic trajectories of progression in the soul evolution. And what I've seen is that a lot of the time souls get stuck in these loops where the divine gift gets repressed or it gets distorted or it becomes karmically tied to a misaligned expression. So part of your soul purpose in this lifetime, group number 2, is to overcome barriers or blockages in your divine communication and honing your authentic style. Because in divine communication souls, I've worked with many of them, and I am one myself. Clearly, I communicate for a living. This is part of it. Like I'm an example of it, but it's not always going to look the same for everyone. Like I said, I've worked with hundreds of people who have this soul gift, and each one is unique, but it's the same template. It needs to be authentic. It needs to be spoken from your own experience, not regurgitated or plagiarized or just verbatim from someone else. It needs to be very unique to you. It needs to be based on your experience. It's kind of like write what you know or speak about what you know. And overcoming some of those lightworker wounds around maybe being persecuted or attacked or rejected or isolated because of your gift and how you meant to express it and how your authenticity was interpreted in these past lifetimes. So I'm seeing you getting over some karmic blockages or wounds in the soul blueprint around your throat chakra. This could show up as you in this lifetime experiencing like the blockage itself can manifest as strep throat, laryngitis, or bronchitis. And those two of those actually came up this morning as synchronicities. So now I'm seeing how it's relating. Everything, it's like my life is just like future. I can see the future before it comes at every step of the path, but I don't always know how it's going to apply. That's a side point. You guys are overcoming these wounds in the soul blueprint around your divine gift of communication. So step out of your comfort zone, put yourself into the public sphere is what Spirit's saying. Put yourself in the public sphere. Your North Node is your destiny. It's what you're meant to develop into in this lifetime, but it's also what challenges you the most. The opposite is the South Node, which is your past lives, the things that you've developed and the ways that you've done it that feels comfortable for you. So again, your soul purpose is to overcome these past wounds around communication and speaking up for yourself, setting boundaries, authentic expression. Yeah, speaking your truth. So it might feel uncomfortable. It might feel very uncomfortable, group number 2, for you to step up and to get on your soapbox, but that's what you need. And the reason this is so important, first of all, because it's part of your purpose, it's part of your destiny, but second of all, is because if your divine gift is distorted in some way or misaligned, you are missing out on a huge chunk of your vital force energy because it needs to come through and channel out and through you. And that's how you access your personal power. So if you are not connected to that, you are going to significantly limit your physical health, your vitality, your ability to manifest, your sense of fulfillment, your ability to help and inspire others. Like it's all going to be limited until you can master yourself and your confidence in your ability to speak your truth and channel your gift. They just showed me somebody singing. They showed me opera. So something about getting on stage, working your vocal muscles even too, like maybe getting a vocal coach. So they're showing me somebody with speech impediments. This doesn't have to be literal. It may be for someone who's drawn to this, but this is like a symbol for, again, the distorted side of they're showing me the movie, The King's Speech. Yeah. Thank you, Spirit. That's literally a beautiful archetypal representation of an individual who was destined to be a speaker, a leader. And he had to overcome some significant fear and trauma around speaking up and verbalizing. It's a wonderful movie. If you haven't seen The King's Speech, I definitely recommend it for you, especially group number 2. I think you'll resonate a lot with that. Ooh, Callie. Oh, I love it. Yes, you are destroying the old paradigms of misalignment, group number 2. You are breaking free. You are going to seriously stand in your truth in this lifetime. It's part of your soul purpose. You are meant to shatter the old limitations and fully be your authentic self. Callie, the mother of the universe, I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. It's time for you to speak your truth, group number 2. It's time for you to stand up and shout it from the rooftops. It is time for you to be the inspiration that other people need from you. And you have all the access in the world in this lifetime to different platforms and different ways of doing this. And you're an expert in something. That's what I've seen with everybody who has divine communication gift. You're an expert in something and you need to communicate that. You need to teach that. You need to speak on that. You need to share that. And do it through words, because that is how you are going to make your money, is actually what Spirit just said. And yes, working with clients like this for years, when you get into alignment with that vital force energy flow, again, vital force energy flow is money flow because it's just different forms of the same energy. Money is the currency of this realm. Vital force energy is the currency of the soul. So it translates. You are meant to be the truth, and you are meant to release and sever ties with anything that does not serve you. You may have even dealt with like a lot of trauma around the throat and the neck in previous lifetimes, like being hung, being decapitated. This is some pretty intense stuff. But like I said, I've seen some crazy shit in the Akashic field, you guys. Like I had to really learn to detach from what I was seeing in people's past lives and stuff, and even in my own. And like I said, being a divine communication soul myself, I have dealt with that too. So I totally get it. It's time for you to release these things though. It's time for you to transcend through your power. Like Goddess Callie, sorry, my hand shakes because I haven't eaten yet. Why do I do this? I always do this. I don't eat, I drink coffee, and then I do a reading and I shake. Whatever. You're going through a death process right now, group number 2, and this is good because it is forcing you out of your comfort zone. I'm hearing dark night of the soul. You may have just come out of or are going through and coming out of a dark night of the soul, or you may have experienced a lot of that in this lifetime. But this was all part of your activation. This was part of you stepping out of the old paradigm, which was inherently trauma bonded to like these aspects of the soul that were fractured within you, and you are recovering. And part of your soul purpose in this lifetime is to shed the past, let it go, let it die. Ooh, I heard crucify. Okay, so getting rid of crucifixion implants or crucifixion martyr archetypes as well. Again, it's like the speaker, the messenger who gets shot, right? Because the divine communication gift is the messenger. My stomach just growled. I'm going to need to eat something after this. Divine communication is the messenger. And that's why they say don't shoot the messenger, because the messenger often becomes the message. And this is what you're transcending in this lifetime, group number 2, is getting out of the fear and the trauma and the wounding in the soul blueprint around you being the messenger and having been shot or stabbed or, like I said, beheaded or any of these other really, really traumatic things to go through at soul level. That does leave damage on the soul. I've seen all sorts of shit in the soul, like spears in the soul. I've seen I've seen some shit, you guys. I keep saying that in your reading. So I feel like maybe you've seen some shit, group number 2, or you've been through some shit. We have Sarah LaCalli. Okay, it's 2 separate cards, but they both have the name Callie in them, which I think is significant here. Queen of the Outsiders. I have arrived. I am where I will always be, in love. You're meant to be an anchor of love on this planet, and you do so through your voice, group number 2. So you're meant to be and feel safe in that. You're meant to be able to stand in that truth. They keep showing me somebody standing on a soapbox. So again, you're meant to have a soapbox, a platform, a way of expressing, a community to express to. That's another thing with divine communication souls. You need an audience. You can't just speak into the void. You need to be speaking to people, and they need to be engaged. And if they're not engaged, you need to address why. Is it the way you're speaking? Have you gotten into people-pleasing mode? Have you limited your truth? Have you repressed part of it? And because it's coming from that fear response, and that's what's actually limiting the results you're getting? Or is it because you're not speaking to the right people and you need to find your truth so that you can attract the right people? Because this is all about authenticity. This is the core of your soul purpose. You have Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion. I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds compassion. Like I said several times in this reading, I've seen some shit and I've been through some shit myself. And I feel like this is something you've experienced, group number 2. Like you've been through the ringer. You recognize suffering probably because you've lived it, either in this lifetime or in the previous ones, or both. Often it's both, because it carries forward, but it bred compassion in you, and you're able to speak with compassion. Again, I speak positively of others, speaking with compassion for others, seeking to understand rather than be understood. That should be the first priority. Seek to understand other people. That will help you to understand yourself, and then you will be understood. So yeah, Kuan Yin, speaking your truth. I'm seeing the butterfly. Can you see the butterfly on her hand? The butterfly gives me Gemini energy, which is about communication. A lot of people who have Gemini sun or Gemini rising are in the communication arts, whether like a lot of rappers have Gemini sun or Gemini rising. I'm actually a Gemini rising myself too. So if you have Gemini prominent in your chart, that can be another indicator. It doesn't have to be the case, right? You can be a divine communicator and not have Gemini in your natal chart. But there is a correlation between those two. But I'm seeing you being a social butterfly or needing to be a social butterfly. So again, if stepping out of your comfort zone means getting out into the world, this could be part of your soul purpose as well. Or it could be the other way around. Maybe you're somebody who's very social and you need more time alone so that you can master the release and shedding of some of the distortions from the past. But yeah, group number 2, I just feel like You have a message, okay? You have a message. I'm seeing Bob Marley. He had a message. He was a profound messenger. If you haven't seen the movie One Love, I don't know why movies are coming up. Maybe you're meant to write movies, or maybe you're an actor, because that's all about voice and voice projection. Again, being on stage, something about communication. Bob Marley was a singer, so it's all vocal, very vocal for you. Empowered service, Ascended Master Yogananda and Rhodonite, Crystal Master number 333. I feel like part of your empowered service is connected to the soul purpose. It's connected to your North Node, your destiny. Look at where your North Node is in your chart too, by the way, because there's going to be indicators there as well of how this could be expressed. But you're here to be in empowered service. And as a divine communicator, you're meant to speak. You're meant to teach. You're meant to inform. You're meant to be the bridge between heaven and earth to deliver those divine messages. You are meant to create as well, like a lot of creativity, transmutation is part of this too, I'm feeling. And speaking from the heart. So communicating about what you love or in a way that inspires love or allows you to embody more love. Relief and repair, Ascended Master Mataji and Crimson Cuprite. Again, number 333, Crystal Master number 333. So relief and repair, again, I feel like you've been through a lot. Group number 2, and the relief and repair is really centered around the throat chakra. Really, it's the entire soul blueprint, but I'm seeing a lot of a highlight on the throat, the heart as well, heart and throat. So being able to communicate in relationship to other people, because the heart is about our relationships with ourself, our relationship. Yeah, I could say relationships, because it's not just one relationship with the self. There's many layers of the self. But it's like the relationships you have with self and others. And healing how you're able to communicate openly and authentically while not holding anything back or sugarcoating things or diluting your truth. But also not being too aggressive and ending up hurting people. So it's like you're finding this fine line balance, healing yourself, the relationship with you, which improves the relationship with others, and you can speak from compassion, but do so boldly and with gusto is the word they're giving me. Gusto. Yeah, so vernacular, vocabulary, these are the tools of the trade for divine communicators. So enhancing your vocabulary, learning new words or ways of communicating that feels authentic to you. It doesn't have to be through learning big words. It can just be about finding a way of communicating that feels more aligned with you. Yeah, I feel like I want to go into the Egypt deck. I didn't use this for group number 1, so I feel like maybe Egypt is significant. I was getting that from this card here with the scarab and the feather. The feather 1911, that's a lightworker code 1911, empowered service, yeah. You're here to be a lightworker group number 2. Again, your divine gift is how you do that, because that's how you work your light, is through your divine gift. So I feel like past lives in Egypt may have been, I'm hearing wisdom tomes. Okay, so there was a lot of wisdom. There's a lot of wisdom in your Akashic tome, if we want to look at it that way. They're showing me scripture, channeled written word. They're saying, okay, so you may have been a channel, a prophet, an oracle, like I said, a writer or a scribe of some kind in ancient Egypt, group number 2. Or there's something connected to ancient Egypt. Maybe this is one of the lifetimes that you're healing. Maybe it's one that you're calling wisdom from, or both. Journey through life. And there's 2 people on this boat. So a lot of this is to do with relationships and how you communicate with people. This journey through life is what you will speak on, is what it's like write what you know or speak on what you know. So sharing your story could be part of this, group number 2. People need your story is what I just heard, and I got full body shivers. People need your story, group number 2. So write it, sing it, speak it, rap it, make a screenplay, like do something with your life story, because like I keep getting this, you've been through some shit, group number 2. And this is a very relatable human experience that you've had. and it needs to be shared. I'm getting that so strongly. We have security, and look at how he's holding this goat leg. I was noticing that in this card, there's the goat leg. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I saw 2112. See how he's holding that goat leg just hanging off the boat there? So I feel like you're the greatest of all time. Group number 2, greatest of all time. Yeah, 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 yeah. Gucci on all the time. Yeah, 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 yeah. So you guys are meant to, I think we do have some rappers in this group. Or we will. Yeah. So there's something about you feeling secure in yourself to be able to, I'm hearing profess in a medium that feels aligned with you. And maybe dabbling in the arts and finding what that medium is for you. Because you are literally a medium. Like I'm using the word medium as in like a way of communicating. But you are a medium, group number 2, which means that you are the bridge between worlds. You channel information. You might not do this in a quote unquote mediumship capacity, although you might. But just writing songs or writing poetry or lyrics or writing a screenplay or writing a book or writing your story, that's all, like I said, that's all channeling. It's coming through you. You're like the Michael Jordan of communicators. Group number 2, you're the Michael Jordan of communicators. Greatness. Illumination or revelation. We have number 33. You guys are getting a lot of 3s, okay? So number 33, 333, these are significant codes for you. And I'm just noticing that 1212 and 2121 are both 33 as well. Okay, so 3s are Ascended Master. It's also about collaboration. It gives me Gemini vibes because even though Gemini is the twins and it's more about like 2s, I always associate Gemini with 3s because it's like the 3 of Cups or the 3 of Pentacles where you collaborate or connect with other people. And it is a social thing. You need to be social in that way. Networking, I just heard that word, networking. You need to network, group number 2. It's important for you. New beginnings and jubilation. Predecessor of the cow. I don't know what that's about, but I just noticed that. Okay, so you are going to be I just saw 2333 on the recording time. Just the 3s just popping off. 33333. New beginnings and jubilation, construction and building. Construction and building. So group number 2, you are meant to build something. You are meant to construct something and doing it from scratch, I'm hearing. Like you're creating something from nothing. And you're going to create security for yourself. This is part of your soul purpose as well, is to feel secure. I'm seeing a lot to do with the root chakra. So feeling secure, grounded, stable, connected to your tribe, feeling provided for, nurtured, safe, like safe in your own skin, safe in your community or in a community, safe financially as well, taken care of, nourished, well fed, all of these things. It's like being, the goat leg, right? It's having the nourishment that you need. And again, I think part of that or a lot of that comes through the gift of divine communication through your throat chakra. So the more that you embody that aligned expression, the more nourished you are at soul level. And the more you will see that manifest in the outside world, because as within, so without, it's going to reflect that back to you. So this is a new beginning. You're going to be jubilant about this. Again, big words, fun to play with words. They just showed me, what's that game, that show that was something junction, what's your function? And then like bird-ing. Mockingbirds are also about singing, communication, but there's something about like, I'm seeing the scene from Family Guy where you like say one word and then you complete the other half of the word, and it's like Schoolhouse Rock or something like that. I don't know. So teaching, like maybe some of you in this group are teachers. You teach people language. Maybe you are a master of language. Maybe you are multilingual, right? Something about language is important here. I remember as a kid, I used to make up languages. I made up like secret languages with myself, like written languages in codes, and I would use symbols kind of similar to hieroglyphics, and Egypt was referenced here for you, group number 2. So this could be something about that as well, something about communicating through different languages or different forms of language or creating a language. I'm getting also like J.R.R. Tolkien and how he created Elvish. Like he created an entire language and an entire world. He is a divine communicator. Yeah, J.R. Tolkien was a communicator, a divine communicator soul. And you can see that through his prolific writing history. You know, The Hobbit, the Lord of the Rings series. He wrote an entire other host of books as well. I'm also hearing the word Kybalion. Kybalion? I think that's a book. I've not read it. I think that's a spiritual or esoteric book. I'm hearing Book of Wisdom. Yeah, and they were showing us scriptures before, so maybe you're meant to read scriptures to connect with sacred or ancient wisdom because it unlocks your gift or it's part of your soul purpose. You're meant to translate that for others, I'm hearing. Yeah, that's the gift of communication, is also translation. Okay. Illumination and revelation. Yeah, so you guys are... Book of Revelation could be significant. Again, I'm getting just like these different texts that hold a lot of important information, and you're either meant to read those or teach from those or write something like that. Yeah, speak on it. I'm hearing speak on it. But first you need to repair some of the damage or the wounding. This is part of your soul purpose, is to get out of the distorted distorted south node. Well, I did say distorted north node, so maybe that's part of it too. It's like aligning both of them so that you're able to take what is valuable from the past and move into the future while staying anchored in the present. Does that make sense? So yeah, that's really what I see for you, group number 2. I really love being in this energy. It feels like home to me because it's part of my expression as well. And I wish you all the best in your soul purpose and your mission here of empowered service through communication. You will be pleasantly surprised is what I'm hearing. Okay, so follow your path, follow your destiny, follow your passion, and speak your truth. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here on the channel. Thank you for supporting my work in the various ways that you do. You can make that like button sparkle, make the subscribe button turn rainbow. You can share this video with a friend. Maybe they're looking at their soul purpose as well, and it would be helpful. I see you guys sending in donations of decks and super thanks and PayPal donations, and I want to say thank you for that as well. It helps to sustain me and make me feel secure in expressing my divine gifts. So thank you. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group 3. It is several hours later, but you guys chose I am accepting. So your soul purpose is to do with surrender. I'm feeling like part of the mission here and the template for this mission and how you're going to fulfill it basically is to completely relax and surrender and get into the flow. I'm feeling like you being able to accept that you're different is also part of this, and getting into a meditative or contemplative state of being will help you do that. So there's something about being able to relax, being able to contact inner peace or connect to inner peace, cultivate inner peace, however you want to put it. It's like you're meant to become peace is what I'm hearing. Okay. I like that. So group number 3, what is their life purpose, spirit? What are they needing to know about their, soul purpose? You are good enough. Full moon in Virgo energy. Okay. You are good enough. Group number 3, accepting yourself could be part of your soul purpose. Increasing your self-worth through that inner peace. That's what I'm feeling. And you also have nothing is yet set in stone. Mutable moon. So I think that's why you are needing to be accepting as part of your soul purpose, group 3, is because nothing's really set in stone. So it's kind of like you need to just flow. You need to be malleable. You need to be mutable in that sense and move with the energy. It's like a really balanced expression of divine feminine. So the divine feminine polarity being about the flow and being able to move fluidly, being able to relax, accept, surrender, receive. I'm hearing transmutation, and then they started telling me something about turning fear into faith. I was also getting turning resistance into surrender or into acceptance, because that helps you get in the flow and this helps you achieve your goal. I think a lot of your soul purpose, group number 3, is about accepting yourself, because you also have show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius energy. Show the world the real you. And I think that's why nothing is set in stone, is because you're not set in stone. You're not meant to be one rigid thing. You're meant to be malleable. You're meant to be an ever evolving adaptation of yourself, and that will continue to expand. But I think that at the root of this is you being able to conquer some self-worth issues and come into a state of wholeness, which again facilitates that inner peace. The energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. So whatever it is that you do in regard to your personal healing and accepting yourself and accepting circumstances in life, it is going to help that energy to gain momentum, and it will help to put you in a position where you're able to weather any storm. Group number 3. And that doesn't mean that you have to weather storms as part of your soul purpose, but I'm seeing you just being able to fluidly move through the waves and the ebb and flow of life, rather than being rigid or resisting that natural progression or the natural cycles or the natural ups and downs or ins and outs. You're meant to be able to completely rely on your own inner security to help you heal and to help you to cultivate that faith that will move you through life with grace. Yeah. Okay. We're going to go in with this deck for you guys. Let's see. What else does group number 3 need to know about their life purpose, Spirit? I feel those 2 cards. Innocence, beloved one, everyone is guiltless in truth, as no one can alter God's handiwork of perfection. Give us your feelings of heaviness so we can lighten your load. Give us any guilt, anger, or blame that may shroud your loving outlook. Enjoy the peace within your heart once more. I was getting that peace, right? Like you're meant to be at peace with yourself. You're meant to reconnect to your inner innocence, to see that self-worth and remove, as they've said here, the guilt, anger, shame, or blame that you've seen yourself through. It's like you've been holding on to this and you have this slightly distorted outlook about yourself, group number 3. And part of your soul purpose in this lifetime is to heal that. You're going to see life so much more clearly because of that. And your soul frequency is going to shift and it's going to rise through the roof because you are dropping that heavy load or that heavy burden of, specifically, I'm feeling shame, but it could be any of these lower vibrational emotions that create that density. So yeah, you have innocence. It's like you're getting your halo back, like you're becoming more of your authentic true self again. And that, I think that confidence and that inner peace that you're meant to cultivate here in accepting yourself is going to give you the inner security to be able to show that to the world, to be able to show up and take up space in this world. It's like you deserve to exist, group number 3. And some of these wounds or some of these imprints in the mental space or in the emotional body may have left you feeling like you don't deserve to be here, or you don't deserve to take up space, or you don't deserve to just be your authentic self exactly as you are. You have to like conform into different boxes for different people. No, I think this is you fully accepting yourself and owning that, taking up room, like literally. This can be about your body language too, healing your relationship with your body, accepting your body, because I'm getting this feeling of like, I need to take up space. Like, I don't want to be crunched in on myself in your energy, group number 3. I want to be like this. I want to be like chest out, head up, Superwoman pose or Wonder Woman pose or Superman pose, It's like the confidence of body language. And I feel like this is really speaking to this grounded state of inner peace that you are meant to achieve through this soul purpose. Ooh, you have perfect timing. Now is the perfect moment for you to act on your inspirations. The doors are open while you walk through them with us by your side. Don't delay or procrastinate, as all of the ingredients are ripe for your success. Everything and everyone is on your side, supporting your positive outcome. So divine timing is at work in your soul purpose, group number 3, and you have a lot of support. Now I see that this energy is gaining momentum. Like things are not set in stone. It's like you're making it up as you go along. Your soul purpose is open. You can do what you want with it. It's kind of like you have this blank slate in specifically the area of what you're going to do with what your soul purpose is. So what I mean by this is like if your soul purpose is to be fully yourself, it's kind of like you need to discover who that is and really own that and be safe and secure within that to know how that's going to show up in the outside world in terms of the physical actions or the lifestyle that you live or the career or the people that you're with. It's like all of those factors are contingent on you finding out and really being connected to who you truly are, which means unpacking some of these layers of heaviness. But I'm really seeing that this is the perfect timing. You are like right on track. And even though the story is yet unwritten, you are becoming the person along the way. It's like character development. And the story is picking up speed. You know, when a story kind of starts out a bit slow, or like there's a lot of challenges that the main character has to overcome. And then at one point, it's kind of like you can see them transforming. It's like maybe that scene in a movie or in whatever, kind of the trope of like the montage where you're going from not being good at something or lacking self-confidence or lacking a skill in something. And then you go through this montage where a lot of things are happening all at once, but it's over a long period of time. And I'm just now remembering that I mentioned in the beginning of your reading that time had passed between doing group 1 and 2, which I normally don't do. I like to do them back to back, just get it all done in one shot. But I had several appointments in between and I had lunch and then I came back here. So I feel like you guys have had a long time where things were not moving or progressing. And that was, again, it was part of your soul purpose because it was like that time period where if you sped it up and condensed it down, that was like your montage moment. And now it's like you're coming out of the montage. The energy is gaining momentum and it's the perfect timing for you to fully come out and to show yourself to the world. But it's like you accepting yourself behind the scenes and doing all of this internal work was the core of you expressing and connecting to this soul purpose. Yeah, it feels good. I feel like lightness in my chest, clairsentiently being in your energy group number 3. I feel excited for you. I feel expansive. I feel like the world is your oyster. Anything is possible. What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? How do you want to express? How do you want to do that? Who do you want to do that with? Like everything is open to you. Infinite possibilities is what I'm hearing from spirit. Yeah. Infinite possibilities, group number 3. So what do you want? Like, who are you? Who have you discovered yourself to be? And what does that version of you need, desire, or want? And how are you going to make that happen? Ooh, divine rebel. You're a rebel, group number 3. Maybe this is why it's like you had to unpack a lot of the heavier emotions that the world dumped on your shoulders, so that you were not weighed down by these limitations or obligations or expectations. All the Asians, getting rid of all the Asians in your life, group number 3, so that you can really show up as the authentic you, which may feel rebellious to you after a lifetime of conformity, of being placed into boxes to make other people feel more comfortable. This is the opposite of what you're here to do at soul level. You are meant to break out of the box. They're showing me somebody like clairvoyantly cramped into this teeny tiny little box, and you're like bent out of shape. And it's like you can't see who you are when you're cramped up like that. And that's why I get this feeling like you need to take up space, group number 3. Physically do that right now. Like do it with me. Take up space, make your body big. Like get the energy moving, because you need to like break out of your shell. You need to like come out of hiding. There's something about you being this divine rebel that you are. Ascended Master Kuan Yin and Pearl Crystal Master number 333. So you are meant to be radiant. The vision. Did we have something here about vision before? I was noticing it in this card. I think it was the Innocence card that said, give us any guilt, anger, or blame that may shroud your loving outlook. Like your outlook, your vision was not clear. You did not see yourself clearly because it was distorted in some way by these internalized emotional baggage, the baggage that you had taken on from the world. And the vision is now clearing. Archangel Michael, Lapis Lazuli, Crystal Angel number 444. So you guys are coming out of a period of hiding or not seeing something clearly, not seeing yourself clearly. They're showing me someone looking in the mirror and seeing themselves for the first time. Yeah, it's like you lived in a home where you had no mirrors. And you know what that's bringing to mind? Is like, it's like being a vampire and not being able to see your reflection. And that makes me think, especially since you're doing a lot of accepting work and feeling good enough and releasing all of these heavier emotions, I feel like you were around a lot of energy vampires, group number 3. People who projected this blame and shame and guilt and repression and self-denial onto you, and that limited, again, your perspective and your ability to see yourself clearly. And as a result, the ability to take action confidently towards what feels authentic to you. So I feel like you've reached a point in your life, or you're about to, because the energy is gaining momentum. Clearly, we literally have that message here, and it's the perfect timing that you are going to be speaking your truth. You're going to be showing up authentically. I'm seeing music notes in these 2 cards. I did notice that, and they're drawing me back to it. So I feel like you guys are going to be, it's kind of like singing your authentic song, you know? You're like, I'm not going to sing the song that other people wrote for me anymore. It doesn't resonate with me. It's not who I am. And it's kind of like you had to spend some time discovering who you were to begin with so that you could write your own song. And I think that's what you're doing, because you're seeing yourself more clearly than ever before. Sacred Revolution, Goddess Kali, and Black Obsidian, Crystal Goddess number 888. You're stepping into your power. Like very powerfully stepping into your, maybe even like your dark feminine, because I was getting like soft light feminine here, but I think you're actually balancing out the 2 of them. And that doesn't mean you have to be a woman. We all have divine feminine within us, but the dark feminine is not a bad thing. It's not like shadow dark feminine. It's dark feminine in the sense that it's about you embracing your power, and it is being a rebel. It is going your own way. It is being confident and self-protective rather than self-effacing. It is trusting yourself to show up and to know that no matter what happens, people can't shake your sense of self. Once you've cultivated that and it's become very strong and firm, there's nothing from the outside that can shake you knowing who you are. Because it's like once you've looked at yourself long enough in the mirror and you have a really solid understanding of who you are, if somebody brings a picture of someone else and puts it in front of you and says, that's you, you'll look at it and go, no, that's not me though. So you're wrong. And that's the rebel, is your ability to say, no, that's not me. That's you. That's fine. Or like, that's something else entirely, but it's not me, because I know me and I'm going to be that. I am that I am. Technically, we're all everything, but I'm seeing you really kind of like picking a path here, group number 3, and walking it confidently. Confidently. They're showing me somebody strutting on the catwalk in my mind. Yeah, you're like, really owning your power. Let's get some goddess energy in here, because I feel like it's very present in your reading. So much goddess energy here. Perpetua, the saint of authenticity. I am my authentic self in all circumstances. This is the thing. You see? Spirit is speaking loud and clear. Your soul is speaking loud and clear. This is about your authenticity. This is about you being your authentic self in all circumstances, around all people. Nothing can shake that. And the more that you are authentic, the less people can manipulate you. Because when we're talking about this, even from like a psychological standpoint, authentic people are the hardest to manipulate by narcissists. Like energy vampires and narcissists cannot manipulate authentic people, because authentic people will just be like, okay, like you're going to throw a hissy fit because I didn't agree with you on something, or you're going to get triggered by that. And it's okay, fine. That's fine. They'll be compassionate. They'll be aware and intentional with their words. They're not going to like berate the narcissist or get triggered or get upset, but they're not going to take the blame. They're not going to allow that shame to get in, because they know who they are. Again, it's like you're protected from the inside out, because your inner security is so solid and so stable that nothing from the outside can penetrate that. You have Our Lady of Guadalupe, the Empress of Protection. I was just talking about like protected from the inside out. Thank you, Spirit. The Empress of Protection. I am safe and divinely protected. I am held in love at all times. This is the thing, group number 3, is that you are held and in love. You are protected from the inside out by your authenticity. On the bottom of the deck, we have Lalita, the red goddess. Playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. So if you've been in the darkness, getting back in touch with your authentic playfulness, like maybe this is who you were as a child before some of this guilt or shame or grief or distortions set in on, behalf of other people, their projections and their distortions of the mind that somehow spilled over into you. But I'm seeing you reconnecting to what you enjoy and valuing giving that to yourself. Again, it creates this inner peace for you, and it taps you in or connects you with that spiritual power. Your authentic self is way more powerful and protected than your fractured, distorted self that was carrying the burdens of the world that were placed on your shoulders unwillingly. And you did not deserve to carry that, group number 3. You are good enough. You do deserve better. You are worthy. And you are here to be that. So be you, group number 3, whoever that happens to be. You may still be in the process right now of purifying. This is a good time for that. Purifying and connecting to your inner child. The purification, it's like the innocence of I'm seeing a dandelion. Oh, okay. Dandelions are very resilient. They're survivors. And they're seen as weeds, but I don't think they are. I actually love dandelions. They make me really happy. Like anytime I see a lawn or a field just full of these beautiful, happy little yellow flowers, I'm like, yeah, lights my soul up. So I feel like people may have told you you're a weed, you're not valuable, you're not worthy, you're this, you're that, either verbally or just through their actions and how they treated you. I heard the word neglect. Okay, so you may have been neglected. Spirit wants you to know that you're safe. Your soul wants you to know that you're safe. And this is part of your soul purpose, is to recover from that, to no longer be in that energy, to no longer attract those types of people, to no longer allow the circumstances that perpetuated that in the first place, or that created that wound and that instability. So this is a path of self-discovery. This is a soul purpose connected to you being you in all that you are, and continuing to unfold different layers of yourself. It's like the more that you unpack what's not yours, the clearer you get on what it is that you are and what you want to be as well. Because again, it's like the path is unwritten. I'm hearing the song Unwritten by, who's that by? Natasha something. Staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window. Yeah, your story is unwritten, group number 3, and you are the character. You're the main character of your story, and you're also the narrator, and the author. Like, you get to design how this is going to go. You get to design how this is going to climax. You get to write the story, so make it a good one. Make it a good one, because you deserve it. And have fun. All right, group number 3. I think that is everything. Is there anything else that you'd like to say to group 3 spirit? Play. They're saying play and create. So definitely tapping into the inner child is recommended, because that's going to help you to see your worth and to know who you truly are. And express your gift, they just said. Yeah, express your gift or gifts and show the world the real, beautiful, amazing, worthy, valuable you. All right, guys, I love you. Thank you so much for being here on the channel. I hope that this reading was helpful for you. Let me know how it resonated in the comments below. And thank you so much for supporting my work here on the channel. You can do so really easily just by making that like button sparkle, or subscribing to the channel, sharing this reading with a friend. Maybe they need to hear some of these messages as well. Thank you to those of you who send in donation decks or PayPal or super thanks donations as well. I really deeply appreciate that from you guys, and it shows me how much these readings make a difference and helps to inspire me to keep going and makes me feel valued and worthy too. So I love you guys so much, and we will see you in the next reading. Bye.